loop and do while loop, and we discussed about web tables, how to handle the web tables in Selenium, and we discussed about static tables, and now today we'll discuss about how to handle the dynamic web tables. So that for the dynamic web tables, what I will do, I will take one website which has a dynamic web table. Okay, so this is the site which had the web tables. So as of now, we can see there are three rows. Okay, one is the Sierra, Alden, and Kira. So these are the three rows. So what happens if I search with some name, right? Let's say if I search with Kira, K-I-E-R-R-A. So it will give me only one row. Okay, so only one row will be displayed. So now it's a dynamic. Like previously, you can see there are three rows. And if I search with some name, the rows will be decreased to one. So this is the dynamic web table where the rows are changed based on the search criteria. Okay, so we'll try to automate this one. So what I will do, I will create one new class and I'll say the class name as dynamic web table. Same thing yesterday's only we have done something with yesterday web table. Same thing I'll copy paste. Okay, I will change the URL. So URL should be this one, web table. Okay, now what we need to do? We need to first, so the concept with the web tables is like first you need to identify the table name. Okay, so right click, do an inspect, and check the table name of this web table. Okay, so this is the table name. So table name is like a React table. So you can write the XPath for this one, like web element equal to driver dot find element. You can say by dot XPath. So table name is this one. Copy it and say like div and thread attribute name equals to, that is class equals to class name. Okay, copy the XPath. So table I have copied. So the next step is like I need to get the number of rows here. So the number of rows are 3, 1, 2, 3 are there. Okay, to get the number of rows, again it's the same thing, that is table name dot, that is element, table name is it's stored in the element, right? So element 1, so element 1 dot find element. So in the table, which element we wanted to find, that is the row, right? So you can, so okay, so there are three rows here. So it's a list, right? So we have to use the list here. So you can use list element, list web element rows equals to ever dot. So since it's a list, you have to use the find elements. y dot x path. Okay, so here in the x path you have to give the row, select one row, let's say first row, and do an inspect. Okay, this is the one. Copy the x path. Okay, so this is the x path. Import the list, that is java.util. Okay. Now what we need to do, we need to print the number of rows, that is system.out.println the rows dot size. Okay, so this x path I've copied from this one. See, Sira I've copied. Okay, so if you go to Alden, right? Alden, if you inspect, again this will be different. If you search with Kira, again this will be different. So it's better you can see. Right now I have used the x path that I took it uh, from the Selenium web browser, but this is not the right way to take it. So what we can do, we can write the absolute x path. So you can see this is the relative x path. Let's say I'll run this one. I don't think it will give me the exact row count. I will run it. Okay, it has opened it, and so right now the number of rows is 3, but here it says only 1. Okay, because the x path is because we have chosen only the key Sierra, right? So that is why it is saying only 1. So rows, number of rows visible. It is saying like number of rows visible is 1. So what we will do, we will change the x path. Okay. I have the x path. So I think we have not covered this one. So I'll discuss this one. So this is the x path. Okay. So just will try to inspect this one. Okay, so you can see there are 3 rows. It's displayed. Okay, so this is the x path. So here, what concept we have applied here is the, so in x path, right? We have we can use this ancestor. Ancestor is there. There are different tags. Okay, in x path where you can use ancestor means it's like parent. Okay, so this is the x path of this one. So now I'll run this one. Now you'll get the number of rows visible. That is 3. Run this. You can see now the number of rows is 3. So it will print the number of rows visible is 3. But right now the one which we are discussing is about dynamic Webtables. So that is we have to enter some text here. So inspect it. Inspect the text box. So the X path is like same thing. Drive dot find element y dot x path. So what is the x path of this one? XPath is placeholder equals to type to search. So give input the rate placeholder equals to type to search. Okay, this is the XPath. So what we need to do, we need to send the data dot send keys dot send keys, and we have to send the data as Alden, ALDEN, Alden. Okay, now if you send Alden, type Alden, so the number of rows will be decreased to 1. So now what you need to do, you need to print it, like you need to get the number of rows. Now the number of rows is 1. So what I'll do an inspect and take the XPath of this Alden. Okay, so it will be the same. That is, I'll copy the previous one. And change the XPath. So this time the XPath will be the one which you have taken, that is Alden. So this is the XPath of the Alden. Copy it. Okay. So now the number of rows visible will be 3. The number of rows after search. So we'll see the difference, like what is the number of rows. Now I'll run this one. You can see the number of rows is 3, then it is searched with Alden. So the number of rows it's became 1. Okay, so you can see that in the console, number of rows is 3. So after search, the number of rows is equals to 1. Okay, so this is the way we use the dynamic web tables. Okay, and okay, so here I've used okay, here I've used the driver.find elements, so that will work. Or you can take the table name as well. Okay, so instead of driver, take the table name. Table name is you can give this as table name and use this table name instead of driver. Even that will work. So this is the interview question they'll be asking. How do you handle the dynamic web tables? So you can tell them like first you need to write the XPath for the table. Okay, write the XPath for the table. Then you need to identify the XPath for that I mean, you need to find the number of rows. Number of rows in the table. Find the number of rows in the table. Then you need to find the number of rows in the dynamic. I mean, you can find the number of dynamic rows in the table. Okay, so this is the web tables concept. Okay, so first you need to search for the table. Then you need to come the table name dot. You need to go with the row. You need to write the XPath of the row. Then again for the dynamic row, again table name dot the XPath of that particular row.